Welcome to the Timmy Corner, the blog/vlog channel that is usually covered from wall to wall in pictures of Timothee Chalamet. Yes, I am in my pajamas because it gets dark at 4 p.m. now, and as soon as it's dark outside, it is fully acceptable to wear your pajamas, which I am. Today, I am going to talk about this thing I did called a digital media blackout. Pretty self-explanatory. It was a digital media blackout where I didn't use digital media. That includes streaming, that includes my cell phone, that includes my laptop, and I didn't do that for 24 hours. I got through 12, that's good enough for me. But before I get into how I felt about doing that, I'm going to show you some of the things I did to pass the time because I could not use my cell phone. So this thing is really cool. I don't know if you've ever seen this. It's called a book. These used to be really popular way back when. But essentially, it tells a story with words on a page. Wild. It's like a movie, but instead of watching it, you get to create it in your head. This one's really cool. I just bought it. It's about a society in which men get this virus and they are sent away, so it is a woman-dominated society. But, of course, if a boy didn't show up, it wouldn't be a very interesting book. So, first chapter, boy shows up. Things kind of go wild. Check it out. The next thing I have is this thing called vinyl. This is really cool because they were vintage, and then they came back, and now, like, what I grew up using, like CDs and stuff, is vintage. But this is cool. This is the Harry Styles album. Very, very cool. I think you should check this out. I have my record player, but essentially it's like iTunes and music, but with a physical thing, and you don't have to carry it around. You just put it on there and you can lay back and listen to it. Really wild. This thing's cool. It's called a DVD. This is what people had to use before there was streaming around. Sounds nuts, right? Yeah, before Netflix had streaming, which I don't think came around till like 2008 or something, they would send you DVDs, and they look like this. They're a nice disc, and you put them in a DVD player, which I had to learn how to use, because I have not used a DVD player in very long. But yes, How to Train Your Dragon. The last thing I have is this thing called a magazine. Yes, Timothee Chalamet is on the cover. You knew he was going to show up at some point. It's the Timmy Corner. So a magazine is like all of the social media news you get, but in paper form. And similar to this, except this one has pictures and is more gossip-oriented, and this is like a story. This one I like because it had Timothee Chalamet on the cover. And it talks about Little Women, which I'm really excited to be coming out. Where's the picture of him? The main reason I bought this magazine is because there's this picture of him in here, and I said, take my $7, please. This one. Pretty rad. So, those are some of the things I did when I was on this blackout. And honestly, the first few hours weren't that difficult. Like, I was really focused. I got really much farther in this book than I would have if I had my phone with me. Like, I was able to really focus. I actually did not bring my headphones with me, so I wouldn't be tempted to, like, plug my music in and listen to that on the train, which was really frustrating because when I walk to the subway, I usually have my music in so I can ignore all the crackheads that are outside, but I couldn't, so I had to listen to them yell at me, which wasn't very fun. But, like, that was one thing that wasn't great. And I had a good time. Like, I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything, except, like, I wanted to call my mom really bad because I'm still a child and I love my mommy very much. But it wasn't until it hit, like, 7 p.m. that I was, like, getting real twitchy. Like, I have grown so accustomed to having this in my hand that I can, like, that my thumbs are always doing something, and my hands are always holding on to something, and my mind is always doing something, that when I hadn't been using it for a few hours, I just got, like, really twitchy. And, like, my fingers were doing this thing where it was, like, twitch, and I was like, no, don't do that. Like, you survived, how long was it when I got a phone? I survived 13 years without a phone. So, and it's really wild to think about that I survived 13 years without this thing. And I'm 20 now. So in 7 years, I have grown so attached to this thing. It has become like another appendage to me, which is very wild to think about how it's developed to be a part of me and as a part of society and culture. Like, I remember when we all had slide phones and, like, no one was addicted to their slide phone. Everyone got addicted when the iPhone came out because there was more to do on it. Like, you didn't have to carry your iPod and your phone. You had it both. You had them both right there on one simple device. The other reason I got really twitchy is because I crave noise. And yes, I could watch my DVD with my DVD player, but it wasn't the same. I think I have become so, what's the word? Not dependent, but kind of. I am always looking for background noise. Like, I'll be doing my homework and I'll put on, like, Bob's Burgers in the background and I don't pay attention to it. Because it's just noise and it's there to fill the space. Because in this world, it is very uncomfortable when there's no noise. Like, that's when, if you're gonna get murdered in a movie, like, that's when you get murdered. You don't get murdered when there's background noise. You get murdered when it's silent. Which really makes no sense. Like, wouldn't you want to murder somebody, like, when there's noise around? Not that I'm a murderer or anything, but, like, just saying. But yeah, it really didn't bother me until it was, like, 7 p.m. when I was like, wow, I haven't been on my phone all day. I haven't messaged anybody all day. I haven't tweeted all day. What are my followers gonna think? No, I really didn't care about that. But it was just very interesting to not have this thing glued to my hand. Like, I did a puzzle. When was the last time anyone 20 years old has done a puzzle for enjoyment? And I actually had to pay attention to the movies I was watching because that's all there was. It wasn't just background noise. I did only make it 12 hours. I didn't make it the full 24 because I was desperate for some kind of something to do. Like, doing a puzzle you can only do for so long. Watching DVDs you can only do for so long. Because we have grown accustomed to having these things attached to us. My biggest fear, though. So Timothy is back in New York, everyone. I was very nervous. Like, what if I ran into him and I was on this digital blackout? Like, I would have been very torn. Like, it would have been like, should I take a picture? Should I stay on my blackout? Just kidding, I totally would have chosen Timothy over blackout. Sorry. But yeah, I think if I did it again, I would probably try to make it 24 hours. I'd probably lock my phone up and, like, you know, you can get these things where you lock your phone in a box and it doesn't open until, like, you set it to go off or something like that. And I'm really thinking about getting one of those. Like, that would be really wild. I think that would be good for me. But anyway, this has been the Timmy Corner. You can officially watch The King on Netflix now. Watch it. It's really good. It is 2 hours and 30 minutes, though, so you gotta, like, be prepared. But worth a watch. You're looking to get a good grade in your Shakespeare class? Watch that. No, it won't help you. It's really not historically accurate. But yeah, thank you so much, and I will see you in the corner soon. Bye!